So this is what I'm calling the working man's guitar. Yesterday morning, this is, Wednesday? Tuesday morning, yesterday morning, this guitar was sitting on the rack out there in the shop where it had been for 3 years. It's an old Alvarez acoustic that the bracing inside had let go, the saddle was pulling off, it was all warped, and a luthier had looked at it and said it's not worth repairing. So yesterday on a whim, I grabbed it off of the shelf there and had my way with it. So I'm going to play a little bit on it so you can hear what it sounds like. Then I'm going to talk about what I did to it, and then probably play a little bit more. So I hope you enjoy it. It sure was fun building it. This is one I've done before on the banjo. It's a 5'2", Eyes of Blue, an old ragtime song. 5'2", eyes of blue, oh, what those 5 feet can do. Has anybody seen my gal? Turned up nose, turned down hose, never had another beau. Has anybody seen my gal? Well, if you run into a 5'2", all covered in furs, diamond rings and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. Would you love, would you woo, and could you goo? Has anybody seen my gal? Has anybody seen my gal? Well, if you run into a 5'2", all covered in furs and diamond rings and all those things, that your life it isn't her. Well, could you love, could you woo, and could you goo? Has anybody seen my gal? So, as you can see, it has really good sound. Now I'm going to come up closer to the camera for a minute so I can show off some of these parts. Because like I said, the body is an actual acoustic guitar that I pretty much Frankensteined. So, I turned it into a resonator here. That is a steel time clock face that we found down in the basement of the old mill building that CB Gitty calls home. And you can see here that times were originally marked on it with old electrical tape or something. 7:20 and 11:20, which 11:20 to 7:20 is 8 hours. This marked when the shift stopped and started for the workers here at the mill. This is the actual time clock face that people used to use to punch in and out here at the mill. And for me, I love this mill that we're in here. It's over 170 years old, and I just love having a part of that as a part of this guitar. Now on the side here, I don't know if you can see that it says safety first. This is a sign, a little tin sign I pulled off of the wall of the crayon factory in Sandusky, Ohio, that my grandfather worked at. When I was there getting some reclaimed salvaged wood and other stuff, I saw this on the wall, and honestly nobody was looking, and so it came home with me. And the reason I put it on here, there had been a preamp in this Alvarez guitar back in its former life, so there was a hole here. And I should say, this guitar was given to me, I may have given him a little money for it, I can't remember, but Stan Barker, a good friend of mine who's helped out here at CB Gitty in the past, contributed this guitar to the cause. So it had a preamp cut in there, and I put this sign over it, kind of bent it to fit, to cover that hole. The tailpiece is off. It's an old doorknob cover. You can see the keyhole there and where the doorknob came through, and I just kind of bent it, drilled some holes there for the 6 strings, Used a drill press to carefully drill those holes through to hold the string balls. Over here, I actually cut out the top of the guitar when I was building it. I, not as carefully as I should have, but I scored it with a razor and just started chipping it out. So there's a hole here, and I've got pictures. I'll be doing a series of blog posts on how I did this. So there's a big hole in the front of this guitar. And so I screwed this over, and over here, I didn't position it quite right, and there wasn't anything to put screws into underneath, so I put this old faucet handle here to kind of hold that side down. And this is also from the mill here. These are the original Grover tuners that came on it that I kind of spray painted and antiqued a little bit. And I think that's about everything. Oh, yesterday there's a photo that Glenn took of me antiquing this guitar. I basically took a propane torch to it and just cooked the finish off of it. It flecked and spit and caught on fire, and there were little chunks of flaming guitar finish flying around that almost set my hair on fire. So that was fun. And then when I put it together today, I forgot to empty all the crud out of the inside, so it's still in there too. So I'm going to play another little number here, and if anybody's asking questions, call them out, Nick. I'll try to answer them. But the reason I wanted to create this is for our stage here. We're working on putting together the CB Gitty band where people can come and sit in, and I wanted a 6-string instrument that a conventional guitar player could come in and sit down, pick up, and start playing on, but I didn't want just a regular acoustic guitar, because what's the fun of that? So taking this one and basically beating the hell out of it, tacking a bunch of reclaimed stuff onto it, it made it fit in with the with our theme here. So I think a little bluesy number here. Nick's laughing. Somebody's saying something.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian. A little seasick. You'll get your sea legs at some point. You said the autofocus was.
Yeah. Sorry about the autofocus. There's no way to turn it off on this phone. So we just do the best we can with what we got. All right. What was I going to do? Blues number. This is one. Both the first song I did there and this one are ones that I used to do with a guy named Dante D'Antilio. A very special guy, and it was at his restaurant nearby here where I first started singing and playing in public at the jam session that they still have every Wednesday night. And these are a couple of songs that we used to do there. Ain't got no money, can't buy no grub, backbone and navel, doing the belly rub. After all, my heart traveling, things about coming my way. Heart was empty and the cupboard was bare. I said, Mama, what's going on here? After all, my heart traveling, things about coming my way. Sister said, and the doctor won't come, 'cause he couldn't pay him the proper sum. After all, my heart traveling, things about coming my way. what's this all about? After all, my heart traveling, things about coming my way, things about coming my way. I thought of one other thing while I was playing there. Yesterday, of course, when I'm creating an instrument, I always get in a hurry, and I just want to get it done, get it strung up, see what it sounds like. Yesterday afternoon, I decided it was time to put this together and string it up. And so I've got this screwed on with a few screws and, you know, start slapping some medium gauge strings on there. And Nick was standing there by the workbench. And I'm a cranking and a cranking and a tuning and a cranking. And I get it up to pitch and then it drop back down and crank, crank. And suddenly I start to hear some creaks and cracks from back this area. But I'm standing at the bench focusing up here. I'm not watching what's going on down here. And finally Nick's like, you want to look. And it's basically about to implode. Just let go. So I got the string tension back off, took the resonator back off, and started basically clamping and gluing in bracing inside there, because it turns out if you want to Frankenstein an acoustic guitar, important thing to know is that soundboard, the top of the guitar, I learned yesterday, is an important part of the overall structural stability for it to be able to stand up to the string tension. And if you cut out a circle about that big from it, it doesn't have nearly as much strength as it used to.
And you're going to need a lot of yardsticks.
Yeah, I used old yardsticks, cutting them and fitting them and gluing and clamping to basically create a ring around here where I had cut it out. And I used some other random stuff we had around clamped in there, and it's holding. I put lighter gauge strings on it this time, much lighter acoustic strings, and it's got a really good sound, and I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it.
There's been almost as many compliments on your legs as there has been on the guitar.
Oh, for God's sake. Come on, people, focus now. So we've been having a lot of fun out in the shop lately. I've been getting out there every day, and unfortunately that means that I might not be responding to emails and other stuff as quickly as I try to usually do, but this was worth the time, and this is going to be an awesome addition to the lineup of instruments that we're creating for the Gitty band here. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope to see you post some photos of your own Frankenstein guitars that you create. It certainly is fun, especially like with this one where it was a dead guitar. It was on the shelf, was not worth repairing. You know, I was pretty much thinking we'd take the neck off and all of that. So being able to give this guitar that Stan gave me a new life and a new voice, and incorporate some historical stuff from the mill that we're in here. That's good stuff. That's the kind of thing that keeps me going. So.
And don't worry, Shane, we're going to hide it when you come up, so you can't take it with you.
Yeah, Shane is coveting his neighbor's guitar, I think. So, happy building. Hope you enjoyed this. That's all I got. Keep at it.